This is for the solo individual creator who wants freedom to choose the tools they want to choose and use. That's what this is for.
It's been about a year since I switched to Linux. So do I regret it? I've told my backstory a few times in videos, so I don't want to rehash everything, but I've been a Mac user for over 20 years, and there were a lot of reasons why I started using Mac back in the day and why I continue to love using Mac. As a filmmaker and photographer, it just made sense, everything worked great, and for most of those years, there was just no reason to switch to anything else. Fast forward to a few years ago, and just like many of you, I became tired of the Apple, Microsoft, Adobe world and wanted something different. But why Linux, especially for a creative, right? Part of this is I wanted to challenge myself to see if I could create the stuff I wanted to create on Linux. But this was bigger than just Linux itself. This was about what Linux is, about what it represents, and about the whole movement behind Linux and free and open source software and things like that. Even with all this modern technology, new communication methods, there are still gatekeepers between the artist and the audience, or between the content creator and the consumer. And I want to celebrate, use, and enjoy any tool that helps break away some of those barriers, some of those gatekeepers between the artist and the audience. And using open source software like Linux is one amazing tool that does that. This is about freedom of the creator and freedom of the consumer. I started this journey thinking I would run my Linux box congruently next to my Mac for a long time and slowly work my way into the Linux world, seeing what I can do with it. Fast forward a year later, and things have gone much better, much quicker than I expected. I created this channel to document this journey. I want to create more videos on this channel, create them more often. One of the things I started doing recently was being open to sponsors, but not just any sponsors. I wanted to work with sponsors that I could feel good about partnering with. And the first one is Brilliant. Brilliant is a powerful resource for you to raise your game in many areas of knowledge. They have hands-on lessons that engage you in a more intense way than just watching videos alone will. You can use your computer browser or the mobile app on the go to keep up with your lessons. Brilliant gives you all the tools you need to build a positive daily habit of building a new skill in a variety of topics. I started with the Thinking in Code course and am exploring all of the computer science related courses Brilliant has to offer. You can try everything that Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days by visiting brilliant.org/Linux Creative Project, or scan the QR code that's on the screen, or click the link in the description below and you'll get 20% off an annual subscription. Support the channel and learn something new while you're at it. This switch hasn't been without challenges, but the upside has far outweighed those obstacles and challenges. So 1 year later, not only am I using and loving Linux, but I'm using it more and loving it more every day. But what's changed in the year since I started this journey? So when I started last year, I started with a Camrui mini PC that was running an AMD mobile processor that I installed Linux Mint on. I ran that next to my iMac, sitting right next to each other, switching between the two as I got everything installed and started dabbling with Linux Mint and these software tools. When I first started doing that, what really excited me right away was the power of the software that I was using. I knew Blender and GIMP really well. I knew the vast power that Blender had and the capabilities that GIMP had as well. But some of the other things I had really been new to. So learning how powerful the software that I was going to use really excited me. And that got me thinking that I can make this switch 100% a lot faster than I originally had planned. It also inspired me to throw more hardware at the software, because since I was starting with just a mini PC, I was kind of handicapping myself in terms of what I could do with this software. So I knew at some point I wanted to throw a little more hardware at it to really see how far I could take it. So late last year, I found a couple used Lenovo computers. The first one being a small form factor ThinkCenter with a 12th gen i5 processor that I since upgraded the RAM on to 64 gigabytes of RAM, added a couple extra hard drives, and that is now my daily driver on my desktop. The second system came a couple months later, and that was a Lenovo ThinkPad X280. I know the T480 is the Goldilocks ThinkPad, and at some point I will try that one. But I found this X280 on Facebook Marketplace, just like I found the ThinkCenter, and it just caught my eye, and I wanted to try it out. I'm really, really thankful I did. It's a great little mobile system, great laptop, and it runs Linux really well. I have Pop! OS installed on both systems, and now these are my main computers. I keep my MacBook Air around because I still have a lot of things invested in the Mac world, especially the iCloud world, but I need to use it less and less. These Lenovo systems with Pop! OS are my daily drivers. They're my systems for pretty much everything right now. And speaking of Pop! OS, that's one thing that's also changed. I started out with Linux Mint, and as you saw in a couple of videos ago, I switched to Pop! OS, and I love Pop! OS. I loved Linux Mint, but I'm really, really enjoying Pop! OS. And since I have it on 2 computers now, I'm really deep into it, learning all the ins and outs, and it's a great distro choice. There might not be any bad distro choices. Whatever works for you. Right now, Pop! OS is working well for me. I love it. I can't wait to keep using it, to see the updates they come out with, to try the new Cosmic Desktop environment when that's officially released, and hopefully someday maybe try a System 76 desktop computer or maybe even a laptop. So what's next for me and this channel? Number one is being more active on this channel. I've uploaded a decent amount, but not nearly enough, not nearly as much as I want to upload. So increasing the upload rate is goal number one. Each time I create videos for this channel, content for this channel, I'm utilizing the tools that I'm actually talking about. So it's helpful for me, helpful for you if I upload more, because I get more experience using these tools and I can share more of the details with you as I go. I also have plans for some short films, some narrative and short documentaries that I'm gonna create and put out on YouTube in one form or another, probably on a separate channel, or distribute one way or another. Distribution options are another thing I want to explore this year, and I'll talk about that more as I go too. But some short films, some short filmmaking projects are number 2 on the list of what's next for me and with this channel and the stuff I'm using. And of course, my photography is still a big deal. That's a constant in my life. I'm working on a photo book. So Darktable is my tool of choice right now to help me cull through my photos and organize and label and narrow down the photos I'm going to use for that photo book. All this will be documented here. I'm going to try to document it more, figuring out how to do that. That's engaging, that keeps you guys interested and helps you guys with your journey as well. I did a video a few months ago that was a 100-day follow-up on this switch. So I don't want to repeat all the information I said there. That video is still valuable, and I want this video to be valuable as well. But I feel that these updates are important because I know people are curious about how it's going, where are you at, what are you using, what's different, and so on. So I'm always open to questions about it, but I want to give some specific video updates along the way. I didn't make this switch for clicks or for social clout or anything like that. I truly was driven by the idea of freedom for the artist, freedom for the audience and content consumer on both sides of that equation. And Linux is possibly the most important tool for anyone who uses their computer to create, to gain that freedom. Hopefully this switch can inspire other creatives who thinks it's impossible to do this. And yes, I know for some people in a work environment that rely on Adobe in a group scenario, this can't work. Again, this is for the solo individual creator who wants freedom to choose the tools they want to choose and use. That's what this is for. I'd love to hear from you guys on what else you want to see from this channel and my Substack once I get the Substack going, or Patreon. I'm debating on the use of Patreon and Substack and how often to use one or the other or both, or just eliminate one. Anyways, I want to hear from you guys what you want from this channel, what would be helpful for you, and that will help guide me on some video ideas as well. So I appreciate every one of you guys as always. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all your support in general. It's amazing. This journey's been amazing, and I'm so happy to be here. Here's to 1 year. Here's to many more years to come. And I will talk to you guys soon.